So, hello again, it's Debbie Gilbert here with IGOT Communities, and today I'm with my grandson, Bryan. He's 14, and we're going to do a little bit of I've got to learn teenage slang. So, one of the reasons why I think this is really important for IGOT Communities is because 2.7 million grandparents are raising their grandchildren today. And of that 2.7 million, 1 million of those homes has only the grandmother in it. And 55% of those grandmothers are under 55 years old. When we think about all the grandparents raising the grandchildren, 33% of those grandparents do not have a high school education. And so many of them are under the national poverty guidelines. And so the home is really, really restricted a lot because they don't have their parents there. They don't have the financial means that they may need to grow up as a teenager. And so that puts a lot of pressure on grandparents. Of that 2.7 million families, grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, 11% of those are raising their grandchildren because both of the children's parents have passed. So I think it's important for us to understand and to know kind of what's going on with our teenagers. Now, in the 1970s, when I was in high school, we had our own slang and we had our own code words. I guess we say they're code words, things that we use with each other. And I could probably give some of those to Bryan and he wouldn't have a clue what some of those mean either. But he's going to try to teach us today what some of the words are that teens are using today. So Bryan, what's your first word?
All right, so the first word we have today is salty.
Okay, so salty. I would say salty is it a little crude or sassy?
Not really. It's almost like that. So salty is just basically bitter, or you're getting frustrated with something. So if someone was frustrated with something, you would call them really salty that day.
Oh, okay. So if you came home from school and your grandmother was in a bad mood, you'd say, "Oh my God, she's a little salty."
Yeah, she's a little bit salty today.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next word.
All right. The next word we have is throwing shade.
Throwing shade. Throwing shade. Talking about somebody?
Kind of. So throwing shade is kind of like you're throwing insults at someone, or you're being really rude to someone. Kind of you're vocally saying bad stuff about another person.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were talking to your friends, how would you kind of use that in a sentence?
So if someone was talking to me and I had, I guess, a grudge against another person, I would say, "Man, that guy's really rude and he's really bad." That's how you would like throw shade at another person.
Okay. So would your friend maybe say, "Hey man, don't be throwing the shade"?
Maybe, kind of.
Maybe, kind of. Okay. I'm just trying to put it all in context.
All right.
Gucci. I know what Gucci is. It's a purse. And shoes. Hey, I know that because there's this movie called The Wedding Planner, and she gets her new high heel shoe stuck in this thing, and she goes, "Oh, my Gucci," and it was about a shoe.
See, Gucci is a brand, but it also means good too. It means good. So because like Gucci, it's really expensive, so it's good.
Okay.
So that's basically what Gucci is. It's just another word for good.
Okay. You're Gucci.
The next word we have is dope.
So normally I would think dope is somebody smoking or taking something, but also we would have used dope as, "Oh my God, he's such a dope," meaning silly or
That's close. I mean, like dope again, like Gucci is another word for like, but at this time it's more of an awesome. So if something's really dope, it's super awesome. It's like that.
oh, okay.
So-
That's definitely not what I would have thought.
Yeah, it just means dope.
Okay.
And then the next we have straight fire.
I would think that is shooting straight.
No.
Okay.
Straight fire is just basically saying if you're listening to music and you would say it's straight fire, because it's really, really good. So it's
Okay.
really amazing. You like it, you would say because it's like fire.
Okay. Okay.
And then the next one we have is sip tea.
Okay, so to me, sip tea would be to gather around with a bunch of gals and just have a lazy daisy afternoon and drink tea and chit chat and gossip.
So it's kind of the opposite.
What?
It means mind your business. So instead of gathering around, you're saying, mind your own business.
So would it be like, hey, why don't you just go sip tea?
Yeah, kind of like that. I don't use it a lot, but I've heard a lot of people say it. So that's basically what it is. It's just mind your own business.
Goat. Okay. So here's what I know about goat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do know goat's an animal, for one way. But also, I remember reading this amazing story about this guy who went away to meditate and he wasn't eating anything. He was actually doing a fast, but he was drinking coffee. He was
Mhm.
drinking coffee, and so he would say, I gotta get me a cup of goat. So is it something you drink?
No, I mean, I thought you were going in the right direction, but it's a person like Michael Jordan will be considered a GOAT because he's like a legend. So GOAT is kind of like another word for a legend.
Or the strong man? The
Kind
strong
of.
man, kind of?
Kind of like a person that's iconic, kind of,
okay.
to you. Because like Michael Jordan was like an iconic person.
Mm.
So it's basically like what you think is a legend.
So I would say something like, now that Ronald Reagan, he was a goat.
Yeah, he was, an amazing person.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Okay.
And next is skirt.
Skirt. I would think skirt means trying to get out of doing something.
Yeah, it's almost like that. So skirt's kind of just getting out of the situation. So leaving the situation.
Okay. Or, yeah. So,
Yeah. So it's similar
how
to
about
that. And next we have sick.
Okay, so I would think that means deranged, crazy. I think a teenager would come home and say, oh my gosh, she is sick, which means she is deranged or crazy.
I mean, no. Sick is like, I would say, so sick is just, again, another word for good or amazing. So that dude is really sick at roller skating or skateboarding or something like that. So it's really sick. It's kind of more of a relaxed way of saying good. Like that dude's sick.
So is it like this day and age, you guys kind of take these words and give it an opposite meaning so it confuses us?
Maybe. I don't know. But next we have sus.
Okay. Sus. Let me think about this.
This one.
Okay. Okay. I would think sus means if somebody was sus, I would think it meant, or something was sus, I would think that means that may be a little suspicious or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's exactly what it is. It's the shortened down version of suspicious.
Okay.
So that's what sus is. And then next we have flex, or how I would put flexing.
Okay, so I would say flexing, like a guy flexes his muscles, and so I would say he's flexing. Well, so a guy might think, I don't know, a guy might think it's awesome or good, and a girl might think, oh my God, he's showing off.
So it's showing off basically. It's showing off what you have.
Okay, so it could be good or bad.
Yeah, so someone could be flexing a car, and someone would be like, "Oh, you're flexing over there," and it's like he's flexing your car.
Is it usually used in a negative way then? If you're flexing, or just in general?
No, it's not. I don't personally use it in the bad way. It's just like I'm flexing something, but it can all Actually, no, I changed my answer. It can be pretty bad if you use it the wrong way.
Okay, all right.
And next we have no cap. I'll give you a hint this time. It doesn't mean a cat. No cat.
Okay, so if it doesn't mean you don't have a cap on, maybe it means you don't have a filter, or does it mean you don't know when to stop, or what does it mean?
No cat means you're telling the truth. So you're trying to, so I would say if I saw a dog run across the yard and I'll say no cat. So it just basically says I'm telling the truth. But the opposite word is capping. So if someone's capping, they're lying. They're straight up just telling you false stuff.
So no cap means that guy's straight down the line, he's telling the truth, and capping means the opposite line.
Yeah, he's lying.
Okay.
And next we have low key.
Low key would mean he's hiding out from something, or she's hiding out from something. She's flying under the radar so she doesn't get caught.
No. So low key, well, low key is kind of, for me, I put it as low key as a personal thing, like keep it between you and me.
Ah.
So it's like low key, so it's kind of like a secret almost, but not really.
I'm going to tell you a secret, just make sure you don't tell anybody else.
Yeah, it's kind of like a low key, keep it between you and me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have
Extra. Okay, she's a little extra. Special?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. It just means someone's over the top.
Okay. So could it be, so I'm just wondering, could it be, is it used like she's extra, meaning she's over the top beautiful, or she's a little extra, meaning she's over the top dramatic?
I mean, you can use it either way you want. Extra as in like she's over the top, she's out there, and then she's like extra, like, oh, she's a little extra, And then the last one we have is curve.
Okay. So when I think about curves in my day, it would be kind of this body form. But if you think about curve and you're throwing a ball, it would mean to not go straight but go around. It would mean to what?
Curve. This is sad, but I've never had to curve out of a relationship. So I've never had to curve out of a relationship. So it's kind of like avoiding a relationship with someone. So you can use it with I curved out of the friendship, or I've curved out of the relationship type deal. So that's how it is.
Okay, so to get away from something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to shoot off the top. I don't have them here for you to look at. I'm going to give you some 70s.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Hey, come by the crib.
Oh, come by the house. Or like a...
How do you know that?
Crib is still a used word that we still use.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you guys are still using crib?
Some of us.
Okay. What about gig?
Gig?
Gig.
Gig? I mean, like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. Gig, like giggity? Like you're happy or laughing?
That's giddy.
Giddy?
I would think this generation would think gig is something to do with gigabytes or something, but gig, kind of use it with crib. If you're talking about come out of the crib, you're talking about come out of the house. If you're talking about stop by the gig, you're talking about a place of employment or kind of work.
Okay, so it's kind of like a office or something like that around there?
Yeah, or whatever you're doing, kind of more, work related. Musicians would do called gigs where they would go play.
All right. Oh, gigs, as in that gig.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would use that. How about this one? Bootin'.
Bootin'?
Bootin.
Like giving someone the boot, like kicking them out.
Nope.
Booting. Booting, like you're booting up a computer.
No. No, it's more like roller skating or roller blading. Let's go bootin'.
Booting?
Not booting, bootin'.
Booting?
Mm-hmm.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. Groovy.
Groovy? Okay, that groovy's kind of like getting groovy, like dancing kind of, or feeling like really good.
Yeah, feeling good, cool. Yeah. I would have to go back and think about some of them.
So far I'm not doing good.
Well, I think you did as good as I did. So anyway, I think it's important for grandparents to understand the language of teenagers today and what they mean. Oh, let's do a little of this, if you know just off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
You're texting.
Yeah.
And you put in POS.
POS. So nowadays that just means parent over shoulder. But
And
but it can also mean why don't you take this one? Piece of
yeah.
bad word.
Okay. Piece of. All right. Oh, here's a 70s word. That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, that is bad.
That is bad. See, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like that's bad. That's kind of like cool almost.
Yeah, it's the opposite of maybe what you would think. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
And so I hear it today, but they use another little three-letter word at the end of it now when they're explaining something that is bad. They'll use another little word behind that.
Yeah, like bad still used.
Yeah.
Some of these words stay around for a little bit.
Yeah. What are some other texting little words or shortcuts that you think teenagers use today?
I don't know, and I would text it as IDK. So that's how I would write it, IDK or OK. You would just put K instead of the O, because you can't text down one letter for it.
Okay. What's the code for see you later?
See you later. See you later. I actually don't think I know that one.
You know?
I don't usually text that one out.
Do most kids text code or just do most kids text full words?
It depends. Like I don't know is more common, and like Lamau.
What?
Lamau.
Lamau. Let me
So I wouldn't text this often unless something is truly funny. So Lamau is laughing my off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So that's what
I
I'm
do.
at
I
with.
do know what LOL stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your sissies would think it's dolls, but.
Oh, because of LOL.
Yeah. So, do you know grandparents raising grandkids or grandkids who live with their grandparents?
Do I?
Mhm.
I used to have a friend who lived with his papa.
Mhm.
So that's what he lived with him. His parents weren't around at all, so
Yeah.
he was basically living with them the majority of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do know a friend. I haven't talked to him in a while. I should probably talk to him, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's he lived with his papa.
Yeah. So when Brian and I decided to do this, I just wanted, like I said, I want to do it to help educate grandparents, just so we're kind of in the know. As you get a little bit older, you're 14 now, going on 21, I guess.
That's
but as we get a little older and you get into the dating scene a little bit more, we may get into a little more of the detailed slang that teenagers use. We need to know that as grandparents. Hey, thanks for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, thanks for being with us, and until we see you again, just keep living.